McLaughlin-Levrone is the fastest woman in history, shattering records before the age of 25. She's done what no other woman has.
Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone had just won double gold in Paris, but all anyone could talk about was her long pants at a race in Brussels. Rumors spread fast. Was she injured, hiding something, or making a secret move? She stayed quiet at first, but when she finally spoke, it caught everyone off guard. What did she say that made people avoid her after that? On September 13, 2024, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone took part in the pre-program races in Brussels, marking her return to the track after a brief break. She had just wrapped up a stellar performance in Paris, where she clinched 2 gold medals and was looking forward to the upcoming races. But when the 400 meters hurdles queen stepped onto the track for her event, something caught everyone's eye. Instead of the usual track shorts, McLaughlin-Levrone was wearing long pants. For most people, this wouldn't be a big deal, right? It's not uncommon for athletes to wear different gear, depending on the weather or personal preference. But track and field fans, who are always looking for any small hint, couldn't help but wonder, was McLaughlin-Levrone hiding an injury? Maybe she had some sort of rash or something that made her cover up her legs? People started speculating wildly, and the internet turned into a frenzy of theories about her decision to wear long pants. There were discussions everywhere, from online forums to social media, where fans and commentators tried to figure out what was really going on. Once McLaughlin-Levrone stepped out in those long pants, the internet did what it does best. It exploded with theories. What could the pants possibly mean? Was she hiding an injury? Was it a secret endorsement deal with New Balance, debuting a new line of tights? Fans, bloggers, and even journalists started creating wild speculations based on nothing more than her choice of attire. Some wondered if she was nursing a leg injury after all the intense racing she had been doing, while others theorized that the pants were part of some elaborate marketing stunt to promote her partnership with New Balance. The rumors continued to swirl for days, and it didn't seem like anyone could let it go. The story kept popping up in news feeds, social media posts, and track fan discussions, despite the fact that McLaughlin-Levrone herself had explained the simple truth. It was cold, and she wanted to stay warm. But the internet's obsession with minor details like this can get out of hand, especially when it comes to a star athlete like McLaughlin-Levrone. Everyone wanted to know the real reason behind her pants, and they weren't satisfied until they got an answer that fit their theories. What's interesting, though, is how frustrated McLaughlin-Levrone seemed to get with the whole situation. As she talked about the rumors, you could sense her exasperation with how the media and fans were fixating on something so trivial. It's frustrating when you're trying to focus on your performance and the next big race, but the media is more interested in your outfit than your results. When Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone showed up at the Miami Grand Slam track meet, fans were eager to see if the Olympic champion still had that magic. After her little break from competition and all the drama over the long pants in Brussels, people were watching closely. And just like that, she reminded the world exactly why she's one of the greatest to ever step on a track. In the 400 meters hurdles, McLaughlin-Levrone clocked a world-leading time of 52.07 seconds. That's a time most runners can only dream of, and she did it even after a bit of a stumble. Literally. She tripped a little over one of the hurdles and still managed to finish way ahead of the rest. It's crazy when you think about it. Imagine being so good that even your not-so-perfect race still puts you at the top of the world rankings. And if anyone thought that performance was just a fluke, McLaughlin-Levrone had more in store. She came back the very next day to run the 400 meters flat and crushed it with a time of 49.69 seconds. That's fast, like elite-level fast. And what's even more wild is that she didn't even look like she was pushing that hard. She made it look easy. There was no stress on her face, no wild flailing, no signs of struggle. Just smooth, controlled running from start to finish. That's the kind of performance that doesn't just speak to natural talent. It shows focus, training, and serious confidence.
Dedication. But the truth is, Sydney has already done more for the sport than most athletes could dream of. She's pushed the limits of what's possible in the 400-meter hurdles, proving that
After all the success she's had in the 400 meters hurdles, Most athletes would stick to what they know best. But Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone has other plans. In a surprising and exciting move, she's announced that she's turning her attention toward the 100 meters hurdles and even the 100 meters flat sprint. This isn't just switching events for fun. This is a major shift in direction. These races are shorter, faster, and need a whole different kind of strategy. In the 400 meters hurdles, you pace yourself, find rhythm, and have time to recover from a small mistake. But in the 100 meters, one wrong step, and the race is over. Everything happens in a flash. That's what makes this new challenge so exciting and risky.
52-second and 51-second barriers in the 400-meter hurdles. And yet, instead of celebrating her greatness, critics complain she's not entertaining enough. But when she...
What's even cooler is that McLaughlin-Levrone isn't doing this because she's bored. She's setting her sights on one of the hardest things you can do in track and field, breaking the 50-second barrier in the 400 meters hurdles. No woman has ever done that before. Her current world record is already mind-blowing, but she wants more. She wants to push beyond what anyone thought was possible. And while she's chasing that goal, she's also jumping into events where she's not yet the best. That takes courage. That takes someone who isn't afraid of starting from scratch. Especially when you've already reached the top in one event, stepping into new territory isn't easy. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone isn't done making history. Even after winning multiple Olympic gold medals, breaking world records, and dominating the 400 meters hurdles like it was her own backyard, she still wants more. What makes her different is that she doesn't just run for medals, she runs to challenge herself. She's already the only woman in the world to run the 400 meters hurdles under 51 seconds, but she wants to go even faster. Her big goal now is to break that crazy 50-second barrier, something nobody has done before. Most athletes would be happy staying at the top of one event, but not Sydney. She's aiming to branch out and try new challenges, including the 100 meters hurdles and even the 100 meters flat sprints. It's not easy switching to different distances, especially when you've already mastered one, but that's what makes her exciting to watch. She keeps pushing her limits instead of staying comfortable. What a lot of people don't always see is the hard stuff behind the scenes. McLaughlin-Levrone's story isn't just about being fast, it's about bouncing back. She's had her fair share of pressure, criticism, and injuries. There was a time when she struggled with shorter hurdles. People doubted her. She even talked about the fear and anxiety that came with racing. But through all of that, she kept going. She didn't let the noise get to her. That kind of mindset is powerful. It shows that athletes are human too. They feel pressure, they make mistakes, and they grow. Sydney's journey proves that success isn't just about talent. It's about heart, consistency, and believing in yourself even when others don't. Before she was a world record holder, an Olympic legend, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone was just a young girl trying to find her rhythm on the track. People often forget that even the most successful athletes have gone through moments of doubt and failure. For Sydney, one of her biggest challenges came with the short hurdles. Early in her career, she was fast, no doubt about it. But the 100 meters hurdles demanded something different: timing, rhythm, confidence. And it didn't come easily. She would often second-guess herself mid-race, which slowed her down and messed with her flow. Even though she had natural talent, there were days when it didn't feel like enough. She'd train hard, but the results didn't always match her effort, and it got frustrating. Going into the Tokyo Olympics, the pressure on her was huge. People expected her to dominate, and she wanted that too. But inside, she was still battling those quiet fears. That's when her coach, Bobby Kersee, made a huge difference. Kersee is known for training legends, and with Sydney, he saw something special, but he also knew she needed to be pushed in a different way. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.